You're listening to Five Things with Lisa Birnbach.
Hi, it's Lisa Birnbach, and the actor Richard Kind, who you've only seen in everything, is in the studio. We are chomping at the bit of things that we want to talk about. Richard, I saw you all over Christmas Vacation. I saw you in Bombshell, playing Rudy Giuliani, which we must talk about.
Okay.
I saw you in John Mulaney's Sack Lunch Bunch.
Yeah.
My God.
I'm the luckiest guy around.
We'll be back with more from Richard Kind in a moment.
I mean, you never stop working. You turn down jobs. Oh my God. And then I saw you in the other two.
Oh, I love the other two.
What a wonderful series.
It's wonderful. I hope that I come back to that because, you know, I did the series and then in the last episode I get fired and I have no idea whether I come back. You got to understand, I'm a dancing monkey on a string. And they tell me where to go and then I just do what I do and I hope that it intersects with what they want.
But you're probably in 4 series concurrently these days.
No, I'm in no series.
No, wait. There's Mad About You reboot.
Guessed. Okay, yes. Okay, and was I a regular in that? They did 12. I did 6 of them.
Ish. Okay. Regular-ish.
Regular-ish, okay.
Okay. You're in the other 2. Let's assume that you'll be a character in the next.
It's been a year and a half since we shot it. Okay.
You've been in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And I am in 3 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm coming back.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I'm very lucky with that.
So, you know, Dianu.
It's true. Let me tell you something. When you people think that you make a lot of money from residuals, you don't. Okay? You make money from residuals if you have a piece of the show. If you are a working actor like myself, look, I go down to the mailbox, there's money, wonderful, but, you know, in essence, what does it all pay for? It has gone as low as a penny. I have gotten residuals for a penny. So there are sliding scales, and you don't get that much. But I call myself the Costco of acting. I come in bulk and I come cheap. Okay, so while I guest on a show, it is not enough to sustain me with a life in New York and 3 children who go to private school and with the advent of college. I am a working actor, and although I'm talking economics right now, as far as my soul and my work and my being satisfied with what I do, there is nobody happier. I'm telling you, nobody is happier with what they've been able to do. I get to meet people. I get to be on different sets. I get challenged by doing different roles, different genres. I am the luckiest man in this business, bar none. Bar none, I'm the luckiest guy.
And money, you know.
No, you know what? Money affects sleep.
Yes.
Because children affect sleep, therefore money affects sleep. And
but we know once you have kids, you never sleep again. Really.
It's the truth. And it's not the baby's waking you up.
No, it's not the baby's waking you up.
It's the daddy, I'm not happy. Honey,
right.
Everything will be all right. You go to sleep and you go, oh, things may not be all right.
There's only one thing worse than getting a phone call from your gynecologist, and that's getting one from your kid's school.
Oh, gosh, that's funny.
That's
true.
a very bad phone call.
It's true, yes.
It's never, thank you for letting us educate Lacey today. It's not that.
I know, and the name comes up on your phone when they're calling, and you go, I mean, that pressing that button is, oh God, I mean, now that my mother and father are dead, this is the worst thing that I could press the button for.
Exactly. You see their number on caller ID, and you think, is this the moment that my life changed for the worse?
Oh, God.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Poo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard, the money is an issue when you're the head of a household and you're supporting 3 kids in a very expensive city, and education is very expensive.
Right.
But that notwithstanding, the absolute ability to be a grown-up man who
is still playing,
is still working.
Well, no, still playing,
still
going to the playground a lot.
I
am, like I said, lucky, and I love it. And the things that you don't see, That's hilarious too.
Yes. And sometimes you have the wherewithal to work for no money because the project is interesting,
That's
or
correct.
it will stretch you in a way, or it'll take you to a place you've always wanted to go,
Or I just want to work.
or you just want to work.
I just want to fulfill rather than sit at home, I will do the occasional reading. I do a lot of readings. And Monday night, I hosted a cabaret at 54 Below of an evening of Mel Brooks songs.
How great.
It was great. It was superior.
It turns out that you very deliberately decided to raise your family in New York. Now, this is an interesting thing to me because there is so much pressure in your business to be in L.A. where you can be seen at the market, at the Brentwood Country Mart, at the Gelson's, at wherever. And how is it that you were able to, or why did you want to move east?
Honestly, this is a better place to live. Let's go number one. There's a better place to survive, to be enriched. I always say anybody who lives life for weather is an idiot. Go to where your soul flourishes. So I wanted that for my kids. I wanted to be in the same time zone as their grandparents at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an important thing. One other silly thing is, and we'll get to this later because I made the list, but I became addicted to golf and addicted to the golf club that I belong to, and there's nothing you can do except stop. It's like a video game. The only way to put your phone, the only way to do it is put it down. Just don't take it with you.
Right. Step away.
And it's too difficult. It was too difficult at the time. And if I have a day where I'm doing nothing, one way that I can take up 3, 4, 5 hours of a very boring actor's life when you're not working is go play golf. And then I would play golf, and 18 holes turned into 27. And then I came in for a glass of wine, and I have no tolerance for liquor, especially red wine. And I would start to fall asleep. And then I'd go home, I'd see my kids, and I'd be with my kids, and I would fall asleep. Not that I don't do that anyway now. But it's at the risk of I would turn down auditions because I had a golf game had planned or got home later than I wanted to for the kids. So, and New York is better. And if you want to go play golf, you got to want to play golf because you got to get in your car and you got to drive and then you got to battle traffic back into the city when you come home. So you got to want to play golf. It's not just there in your backyard like it
and
is
you
in
have
LA.
to plan. You can't
And you
just
plan, right.
You can't just go.
Right, exactly.
But Richard, for the purposes of being an actor, did it in any way
Affect my career?
affect your career?
Huge. You got to be in LA.
So you took some hits, you think?
Yes, absolutely.
So you would have been in even more movies and TV shows and so on if you were out there. I mean, it seems...
Yeah. However, and I mean this, you're going to... I really mean this. The less you get paid, the better the project. And it's true 70% of the time with me. However, I'm really lucky that because of the way I look, people aren't going to run and want to look at me. I'm not going to sell a movie. So what I do is I may enhance a movie, and people have to be smart enough to know that my looks are not going to sell the movie. They want my talent, and therefore I get hired by smart people who don't want to take the easy way out. So they use me. So I've been working with the Coen brothers. I got to work with Clint Eastwood, and I get to work with Pixar and just a lot of people. Arthur Penn. I've just been very lucky.
Arthur Penn.
Yeah,
My God.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But
you were in Argo.
And I was in Argo.
That was a fantastic movie.
And a fantastic little scene.
Oh, yeah.
I love that scene. I was very proud to be in that, and
I was proud to watch it.
And proud to be with Alan Arkin.
Yeah.
I worked with Alan, and he is the funniest and the smartest. Okay, you know what he said about L.A.? He goes, if you're not working, there is no place worse than L.A. But if you're working, there is no place worse than L.A.
To be unemployed in L.A., what was it? Mark Maron, the comedian,
Sure.
said, the smog is not really smog. It's little tiny bits of people's disappointments. And it feels...
How poetically, and the imagery.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, that's great.
I mean, it does feel like everybody knows you're not working and everyone else is working. By the way, I thought, first let me just say, The Other Two is a great concept for a series. It's about the two loser older siblings of a young pop phenom.
Yes.
You play the theatrical agent of one of them. And of course, the older brother and sister are hilarious and
They're
bitter.
Great.
And not that bitter, but bitter. And
Bitter.
they've made a mess of their lives.
Oh, bitter. Yeah.
And Molly Shannon plays the mom.
Brilliantly.
Yes.
Ken Marino plays
Oh, my God.
the kids agent, who he's brilliant.
And then in Bombshell,
Oh, yeah.
which it's still a
you know
living,
what?
breathing,
I
giant movie.
Well, it should be seen by every man in this country.
Right.
That's one thing, but it won't. But it's really a terrific film.
It is.
The thing is, and I think it's really cute, and I'm really honored, I'm in two very small scenes of a wonderful movie. I showed up, I put makeup on, and attached a very famous name. I'm not that great in it, but I'm Giuliani. And I'm fine. I'm good.
You're
I really am.
good.
But I'm lucky to ride the coattails of a great movie, of a great director, and a great writer, by the way. But you're talking to me like I should know. That's like people came up to me and asked me about A Serious Man, and what does it mean? And I'm going, what the fuck? I don't know what it means. It means you're smarter than I am. You interpret it. I don't. Just because I was there doesn't mean I know any better. You talk about The Other Two. It's years ago, and
Oh yeah,
and maybe
years ago.
and maybe they did 10 episodes. I think I might have been in 6 of those, but small little scenes. I don't know about The Other Two.
Right.
You watched it, you binged it, you saw it. You know more about it than I do, and yet you bring it up like I am the
boss
mocker.
of it.
Well, that I know a lot more about it than I do. You know more about it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you that
Yes.
it was quite the surprise to see you as Rudy Giuliani for so many reasons.
Go ahead.
Number one, my view of Rudy Giuliani between the time of the
9/11.
Roger Ailes,
Oh, yeah.
the Roger Ailes fallout to now. Even forget 9/11,
Right,
when he
right.
was America's
Oh,
mayor.
yeah.
I mean, my
he's the
perception of him has changed a lot. I
Yes.
think he has changed in some.
Somebody said it might have been that might be chemo. There might have been medical processes that have changed cells within his brain. I don't know. Certainly, his ego's always been that large.
Right, but he seems lunatic now.
He's a lunatic. Yeah.
Right, but so it was exciting to see you playing a lunatic.
It is, and different. Look,
And it's a different lunatic
than
from today's.
Kate, from Kate McKinnon's, who I certainly looked at, and I said, well, I just can't do that.
Right.
I simply can't do that. Then I saw John Lithgow do it later on while he was
Right.
hawking the movie. Very different from what I did. And you see, something that I learned at Second City, and this was elucidated by, I think it was Alan Arkin on Bob Costas' show. What do you learn at Second City? Something that I learned was, why am I there? Why am I in the scene? Am I in the scene because things are happening to me? Am I in the scene because I'm going to help information come along about the major character? Am I there just to give it some texture? What am I there for? And Giuliani was there because, well, he was there for Roger Ailes, but in those scenes, am I a lunatic? Am I filled with ego like he was? In one scene I am. I'm going, why can't we have the case? Give it to me. Give it to us. We could do it. That's what Giuliani is all about. In the other scene where we're talking to Ailes and Susan Estrich is there and Mrs. Ailes is there, I just sit there. And I'm not the Giuliani that we all know. So what is my job in the scene? How can I help Jay Roach make this a better movie? And you're talking to an actor with an enormous ego. Enormous, huge. I want to shine and star in everything. And I sometimes walk on a movie set or a TV set and say, I'm not going to win the Academy Award, so let's do a good job. And that was what my job was. Let's do a good job and help the scene.
Did you learn more about acting at Second City than you did at Northwestern?
Well, I wasn't a theater major at Northwestern.
Well, then I guess the answer would be
well,
yes.
Yeah, but I learned. I took classes, and of course I took classes after. It's like a golf swing. You can know that you have to stay over the ball. You can know that you can't sway, but you better hit the ball, and then you'll know what it's all about. I was on stage at Second City 6 nights a week, 8 shows a week, from 9 until 12:30. In front of an audience that's telling you, this is what we like about you, this is what you can do.
Because the feedback, I should explain to anyone who doesn't know, it's improv.
It's improv, but it's also an hour and a half sketch show that is the same every single night. So although it's not an arc of one play, it's various different scenes, and you know what you can do. And it's like doing a play, even though you're not as invested maybe. But you're invested in it. And doing it makes you confident, lets you know how to stand, what your relationship is with an audience. Of course, you're nervous every night before you go out, but you're not terrified. It's not paralyzing. And yes, I did. Being on stage every night at Second City made me a better actor. Then I went and did sitcoms and got to be a worse actor. I can't. It's tough for me to do sitcoms anymore. The 4-camera. Do you know it's been 10 years since I did sitcoms?
Wow.
And then I went and did in front of a live audience.
Right.
And I did Mad About You, and I was huge. I was huge again. I was reverting back to what I used to do, and so I brought it down a little. And Paul said, what he literally said, what's going on with you? I go, I'm an idiot. I can't be an idiot anymore. And then I went and did a show that's not on yet. It's wonderful, called Indebted. It's with Fran Drescher and Steven Weber and Adam Pally and Abby Elliott. And she wonderful actresses and actors. And I was even bigger there. But I played Fran Drescher's brother, so I had license to do it.
Right.
But it's not a form I like anymore. I like single camera. I like talking. Even though we're talking here and we're intimate because we're so close to each other, I'm still a loud person. That's bad for camera. Well,
one thing, I wrote a pilot that was produced once, and I understand now so much better that when you're being directed in a scene in front of 4 cameras, the direction has so much more to do with camera angle than the acting in many cases.
Right,
it depends on the director.
I will be honest with you.
Yes?
Directing a sitcom for camera is all about angles. It is hiring the right actor, and there's a couple of things. Number one, a director is more of a traffic cop.
Mm-hmm.
He is more of a liaison between the actor and the writer-producer who has all the power. The third thing is, especially as you get into series, what if you say something to an actor that is the right thing to say, may help shape them, but the actor isn't well-versed enough in what a director does and may be insulted by such direction and go, well, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? That director's out of a job because the actor goes to the producer guy.
Right. I can't work with him.
I can't work with him. So they walk softly. It's eggshells sort of.
Right.
And
so when you say you were too big, or sitcom sort of eggs you to play for the audience, get a big laugh,
Absolutely. It's what they're there for.
Right.
But okay, I'll tell you a story, but I've told this before. The 2 great talents that I've worked with in front of a camera and who know this business and are such good actors and know what they have to do and who they are Michael J. Fox and Carol Burnett. I did series with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Carol would play to the audience, to the back of the house, and at the the same time.
Wow.
She could do that the camera happened to catch her, and she's so likable and not grating that she could play large and still get caught on camera. That's how wonderful she is and why her essence is so great. Michael J. Fox only plays to the camera, but he needs the audience to give him his rhythm, to propel him, to know how to rev it up or to bring it down. So he manipulates the audience, but he doesn't play with it. The audience gives him stuff, but he plays small right to the camera.
I'll tell you, Spin City, how many years did you...
We did 4 with Michael, 2 with Charlie.
So he was so exceptional in the fact that everything he did was appealing, even when he was supposed to not be appealing.
He's crazy. He's crazy. And you know who he was, by the way? He was Phil Silvers in Sergeant Bilko.
Oh.
In my opinion.
Oh, interesting.
However, he's so handsome and so not Jewish and not Borscht Belt.
Right.
That you loved him. And he's small.
Yeah.
He's small. You want to cuddle him. It's magnificent. But you listen to his rhythms. He's Jew. Oh, yeah. He's great. He's great.
Who is there anyone that you haven't worked with that you're dying to work with?
When I was a kid, I would lie in bed. Most kids would want to be, play center field for the Yankees or be a rock star, be Mick Jagger. My was I want to be in an original Sondheim Prince musical. I want to be in a Woody Allen movie, and I want to be in a Stanley Kubrick movie. And up until the summer, I said, I think I have a better chance of being in a Stanley Kubrick movie because Woody Allen just never hired me.
Yeah.
And then now it did. But I did an original Sondheim Prince musical. Yeah, that was great. Great.
Incredible.
And never came to Broadway.
Right. Well,
yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
But I got to do it. And there's a cast album. So, I'm like I said, I'm a lucky guy.
Richard, this has been a delightful conversation. Your 5 things, you have thought about it. 5 things that make your life better. Number 1.
You want to say it?
No, I want you to say it.
Okay, I know what it is.
Okay.
My kids.
Yes.
It comes with a caveat.
Yes.
It also makes my life much worse. But it does make it better.
You have 3 science experiments.
Yes. One is 17, going to be 18 in February, and then 2 that were just turned 15 in November. They, I always say this, and I tell them, when they were young, I loved them. I loved them, unabashedly. I loved them. As they have gotten older, I like them so much more. I've always loved them, but I really like them. They're really good people. Thanks to their mother, they are kind. They are nice to other people. So they're charming and funny. My son, hilarious. Well, all my kids, very funny. I think that my thought about why actors say they love their kids, they love how it's changed their life and everything.
It grounds them.
It certainly grounds them. That's true. Teaches them new perspective, and actors with curiosity will like to see. Oh my gosh, I never realized that how they see the world, and isn't that funny? But actors go to the set and they're, Mr. Kind, some water. Mr. K, let me get that door. Everything.
Oh, you're indulged as a childlike.
Yes, we are catered to.
Right.
And the line, it is better to give than to receive, I don't totally believe it, but there is some value in giving and having that be there and need somebody that you can give to that enhances a person's life, and they can give to their child. Not only can they give, they have to. There's not, they're lost in the world. They have to. They'll go put their hand on fire. They have to give to these kids and give their time. Of course, they go, oh, do I have to do this? And then they get the nanny. But nonetheless, they still do get to give. And that's a wonderful thing, and it's different than their daily life. They get fawned over. They get told they're wonderful. They get plenty of money and stuff like that. So when you hear them on talk shows, I go, that's the reason why, is because it's new for you.
Well, and then the other thing about kids is that, I guess, as you say, the helplessness. Mm-hmm. You just you just, I cave. You know, my kids are in their 20s, and I still drop everything if one of them calls me.
Oh, yes.
It's like a celebrity's on the phone. Ooh. Okay, number 2, Rich.
What did I say?
Love of your career.
Yes. Love of my career and love. I shouldn't say that. That's wrong. I said it incorrectly. Love of my vocation.
Okay.
I love what I do. I can't live without it. And I know some people probably start at age 24 on Wall Street and love making money, and by the time they're 42, they just wish they weren't going to work anymore.
Right.
And there are people who are very successful who are going to work and making money and live in larger houses than I do, with nicer cars and belong to many golf clubs and go on vacations. I just love what I do. Well, I'll tell you an interesting story, I think. I was lucky enough to play Bing Bong in a movie called Inside Out. He was the elephant. It was her best friend, her imaginary friend. And when he, spoiler alert, when he dies, and everybody cries at it. But I remember when I first did it, and I kept asking for another take. Kept asking. I would stand by the TV, by the monitor, and I would do it, and I would be crying, or I would do this, and I would try it all different ways. Because there was a purity to my feelings. I really felt everything. However, I'm not Bing Bong. I'm Richard Kind playing Bing Bong. And this is the closest I was going to get to being Bing Bong.
Number 3.
Number 3 would be golf. I really love the game. I love studying it. I love going to the range almost as much as I like playing the game.
Do you like watching professional?
I do. I do like watching it. But I really it will keep me active because I still walk the course. I don't like to ride, and I hope the day doesn't come. You know, there are certain days where you have to walk because either the course is too tough to walk, or you're feeling ill, or you've just, you had your hip replaced, or whatever it was that made me have to walk it.
So you have to take the cart.
You have to take the cart. But right now, I still walk, and I know that I will remain young-ish as long as I still walk. And I actually like to carry my bag. So there's that.
There's the purity of that.
Yes.
Now, is part of your love of golf the social aspects of it?
Part of it, yep.
Do you have certain people you like to play with all the time?
Yes, I do. And I belong to a club in L.A. I live in New York, but I belong to the club in L.A. because I like the club so much. You will never. It's something else. You will never be perfect because, of course, perfect is at 18.
Right.
Even perfect isn't par.
Right.
Perfect is 18.
Right.
And you try and get as low as you can, and it's a difficult sport for me, and the older I get, and I'm not very flexible, and there's so many things, but I do love hitting the ball, and when you hit the ball perfectly, it feels great. Do you play?
No, I don't, but you get very good feedback right away, right? The sound.
Oh yeah, yes.
And
the whole feel
the
of
thrust
it.
and the
Yeah, and I am of the thought that. Would I like to score well? Yes, but what I'd rather do is play well. If a course beats me up, I don't mind. If I do not play well and I beat up myself, that's horrible, and that is really debilitating to my mood and will affect other things when I leave the club. But I really do love playing golf, and it keeps me active, even though it doesn't. It's everybody thinks, oh, well, you walk the course, you're going to lose weight, and you don't. But it does. It keeps me in line that I can walk the course and keep.
That's
and
a
keep
big
doing
deal.
It. Yeah, and turning and stuff like that.
And it's hours.
Yep.
And and also I have a bad back. The swinging and all that. Not everybody can do that.
Can't do it, and it can bring on problems. But
I
also
gives
say
you joy.
if you get a blister, if your back hurts, if your elbow hurts, you're swinging the club incorrectly. So then you should change, so that you do swing better. Okay.
Okay, that's very clear, and I like it because no one else has talked about a sport. They talk about their coffee and they talk about their dog. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Number 4, you said, were your friends.
Totally. Absolutely. My friends really make my life. I'm really lucky. There are some people who have a group of friends that they all are so close to. I actually have 3 groups of friends that I am close to. One are a group of guys who I play poker with, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. I'm not going to mention their names because a lot of them are famous. I have another group that I dare not talk about him because I get asked about him all the time. But
I'm not going there.
Yes, don't go there. But it has been written about, and the center, the maypole of this particular group is George Clooney, and he is one of the great people of the world, truly one of the greatest, and he keeps us together because he needs us, and we need each other.
And then you have a third group.
The third group, this is a wild one, and I will talk about this. I have a friend who raised in Chicago, and I started playing golf with him when I was in my 20s. It was 3 guys who went to high school together in Chicago, actually in Skokie or in Evanston, and their group of friends remain friends.
But you're a guy who values your guy friends.
And I do.
But
I do.
It's not always easy for men to hold on to them because their wives or girlfriends make the dinner plans and make the social plans. And it's usually based on, couples and not.
It is, but much to my wife's dismay, I am so close with my friends sometimes that I choose my friends, over other things. Or we'll go out with friends and stuff like that. Now, I'm not with my wife any longer, but I cherish those friends because I can talk to them and they can talk to me. They, you know what? Honestly, they keep me grounded.
I do get that.
I do.
Number 5.
I have a modicum of fame and a drive for ambition, a drive of ambition, I don't know what the word is, to keep working. And my fame gets me better roles, gets me work, and I'm ambitious, and I get offered things a lot. And that makes me really happy. That makes my life so much easier. I will tell you this, I love going in and auditioning.
You do?
I love it. And I'll tell you why. Is because I get to care about something. I get to get nervous. I get challenged, even if I know I'm not right for the part. And believe me, I have gone in on roles that I am not right for and auditioned and sometimes get it and will turn it down because I'm not right for it.
Interesting.
But I love auditioning because you get to be a repertory company. Look what I get challenged with. And an artist can sit alone and paint. A writer is an artist who sits alone and creates. But an actor can't do it in front of a mirror. You think you can, you go do, you cannot. You can't do it. You have to have an audience. And I don't care if that audience is an intern who turns on a video camera and tapes you.
It's an audience.
It's an audience. You need
It's
somebody
feedback.
else.
Yeah.
You just need somebody else to entertain. And I love to entertain. I really do. I love to entertain. And entertain doesn't always mean make somebody happy, as in Uncut Gems. Entertain means you pay attention and your life is changed or altered because you're watching me.
But go back to the first thought, which is the modicum of fame. The fact that you are not the George Clooney famous.
That is correct.
Which would be a disruptor.
It is. And my kids don't like it when people stop me on the street. But even more, if I'm rude to that person, they are incensed. They get angry. It's disgusted.
How dare they interrupt you, and how dare you not be nice back?
Right. I mean, my daughter goes, what if that was Justin Timberlake and I went up to Justin Timberlake and he brushed me aside? How would I like that? I wouldn't like that. So I mean, they get incensed if I'm not nice to somebody. They are angrier if I'm not nice than they are about being disrupted. They now just live with it. But it doesn't happen that much. And it doesn't. Here's what I say about somebody like Brad Pitt or George is they're so famous that if you go up and you touch them or you talk to them, they'll rub off. With me, no, I don't need to touch you. You just stay at arm's length. Don't rub off. But they want to tell you that they've seen you, or I like your work is always nice. I hate what have you been on?
Yeah.
I can't stand
How
that.
do I know you?
How do I know you? Do you owe me money? Did we go to high school? Am I related?
Right.
You want to hear the funniest one?
Yeah.
I'm walking down the street and I remember I was with Brian Darcy James and some guy comes up and he goes, Oh, you're oh God, didn't you used to run the porn stand on 34th Street?
Oh, how funny.
Isn't that hilarious?
That is great.
I know.
That is great. Now, do people know your name enough so that when you want to make a reservation somewhere?
Okay, if you want to know what fame can bring, and sometimes I wish I were more famous, the 3 times that I wish I were more famous is when I want to be bumped up to business class.
Yes.
When I want a reservation or get through the door or something like that.
Right.
And when I want a better part, when the part went to somebody who's more famous than I am. I got, damn it, why I could have done this. This is good for me.
Yeah.
I wish I were more famous. So there's that. Otherwise, if, you know what I say is you walk into a bank and the president of the bank comes up. Oh my God, I love you. I love you. Well, that guy has something in his safe that I really want. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get it. But I am going to get a free pen. Fame buys you a free pen.
Well, Richard Kind, this is your life. Thank you for being on the show. It was fantastic.
I'm glad.
Okay, here are my 5 things. Number 1, happy returns. No, it's not a birthday wish or a sexy TV show. It's an actual new company that takes returns to online retailers. Look it up. They have a website. I'm putting their website on my website, lisabirnbach.com. And you'll see you can just take your Everlane T-shirts to a nearby pharmacy, like a Duane Reade or something, and you get your refund on the spot. You don't have to go to the post office. And anything that saves you that is worth it in my book. Number 2, the director Paul Mazursky. Now, he died in 2014, and his feature movie directing career ended pretty much in 1996. But his films from the 60s through the 90s were so rich and exciting and familiar about the times and the people, whether it's Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice about sexual freedom in 1969, or An Unmarried Woman about a woman getting her self-esteem back after a divorce, or Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Anyway, I really love them, and they stand up when you want a nostalgic romance. And I bring it up because there is a delightful new musical adaptation of Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice off Broadway. That's my number 3. The play is written by Jonathan Mark Sherman. The score is composed by Duncan Sheik. And ingeniously, in addition to the principals, Bob, Carol, Ted, and Alice, Suzanne Vega, the singer-songwriter, leads the band and plays all the other parts too. And, wide-legged, striped bell-bottoms. That's all I can say. You cannot beat them. Number 4. An online store I just discovered called Olivela, in which you can buy if you're a woman, you can buy luxury goods and beauty products and stuff for the same price you would buy them anywhere. But 20% of the price is donated by the store to charity. It started when the owner met Malala. And each thing you buy there tells you how many days of school it pays for. A lipstick might be 3 days of school for a young girl in Africa. A pair of trousers maybe 12 days of school, but they give 20% of every sale to charity. So you're doing good while you're shopping for yourself selfishly. And number 5, my lemon zester. All these years, I've been scraping the skin off my lemons with a cheese grater. What was I thinking?
You've been listening to 5 Things That Make Life Better with me, Lisa Birnbach. My guest this week has been actor, character actor, singer, performer, reader, auditioner, father, poker player, friend and confidant, Richard Kind. You can follow him on Twitter or Instagram at Real Richard Kind. You can subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play Music, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, or wherever else you might find a podcast, maybe under a rock. My blog is at lisabirnbach.com, where you'll find links and photos to all the things in this program. This podcast is produced in New York City by thefieldtv.com. My engineer is Jimmy Regan, assisted by Kevin Watkins. My team is Espresso Rucci, Michael Port, Boko Haft, and Sam Haft. Until next week, be cool and act natural. Bye-bye.
That was 5 Things with Lisa Birnbach. New episodes every Friday, if she remembers.